is pretty clear, at least all three of us. You say you think there's a big chance for Big. CMD says maybe a little more competitive. However, even though you two are on the fence, it's never a guarantee. As we head into the game, we've got some split minds on the desk. Now we get to see how it...
Well then, we will be starting with Big on the CT side, and Space will be on the favored side of the map. And it is a fast play, not necessarily through mid as they drop into water. Process is there to fight them out, and Vert will take a lot of damage because of that. But they do have JDC pushed up into B main. They know there's no one there, and it could potentially turn around into a different site.
Yeah, this is a big fight here towards the electric area early, and look at these T's. They've snuck out towards the B site. The rest of the squad is towards mid. It's going to be a bit of a split through tempo, and right now, it's going to be undefended. It's going to be a free walkway towards this B bomb site. The bomb will go down, no problem, in this 5 versus 5, but you can see how much deep control Big have. But it might all be for nothing if they don't win some of these gunfights.
Well, JDC was found, so their ace in the sleeve was taken out. Crimbo eliminated by Trunic. Flash comes in, and that is actually a perfect flash. Searson not able to get both of those kills. X5 still alive, and Process is all alone. 4 HP, nothing he can do. Team Space will be the ones to get the fist around in the bag. And you know, I think this applies to every single prediction that every single talent has put up. Even though, you know, we say that Big is probably going to take this 1 or 2-0 or Team Space, you know, I want to be surprised by Team Space. I want this. You know, I wouldn't be against Team Space winning at the 2-0. I want to see some statements here. And of course, this is one of the biggest chances a team like Team Space have, right? In tier 2 scene to battle it out against the tier 1 team. And if you're able to do it, you know, you can start proving yourself.
But I think we have to say, CCT can always provide an upset, though, can't we? We see Permitted 2-0 Power Vision. We saw yesterday Illuminar 2-0 Gamer Legion. These things happen a number of the times, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is another game. This game does have that feeling to it. Big are at that point where they are still a team with so much talent and experience on their roster, but by no means are they the Big of old. They still have these mistakes in them. There is that inconsistency. I mean, and Fran was talking about what it is he feels like is lacking about Team Space. I feel like the biggest thing that is kind of lacking is that sort of killing blow. That killer instinct that some teams really have to be able to step out of the tier 2 scene to move into tier 1. And I feel like that is something that Team Space are lacking. They can best people around their level, no problem, but it's trying to consistently beat those teams above them. And I think this would be a really big test for them to do so.
I think another very big point about this game is that the biggest pressure is on Big right now.
Yeah.
Because they are the tier 1 team. They are the ones that, you know, they were invited into playoffs, and you would expect them to just do good, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, they should be the best rated team invited. Indeed, so. They are. They are the best rated team invited into the playoffs, and well, if they lose to a team that went 3-2 in the group stage, it's not going to be a good sign for them. For Team Space, if they lose here, I don't think it's that big of an issue for them. They're just going to say, okay, we lost to Big. We had our try. It is what it is. We're just going to play into the next one. But Big, they lose here, and they think, okay, we are probably going to go on to play some, you know, high tier tournaments, but we just lost to Team Space. So people are probably going to just think that they can easily beat us, which wouldn't really be that far from the truth. But as we are moving back into the game, it is a 4-on-3 favoring the side of Big. They did shut down that push through mid, and they themselves start pushing. Oh, Fozel only able to get one, and Searson, I don't know if he actually spotted the bomb, to be honest. It seems like he might not have. He's hanging around there, so maybe he caught a glimpse of it. But it's a 3-on-2 still, and the fact that they're able to keep the player advantage and keep trading effectively is what you would expect out of a team of the skill of Big.
Yeah, I mean, just this deep positioning from Searson, and just the fact he's able to kill the player towards the bomb. Look how much time is delayed. Just having to shift towards this area to try to delay to spot these players. They find Searson, it means nothing. They're going to have to save. They don't have enough time on the clock to actually do anything, but Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the most important thing for Big, is ensure you can at least get your fundamentals down to a T, because your experience, the talent should prevail if you can at least show that. We see a lot of tier 2 teams sometimes be a bit shaky on the most simple things, where it's, okay, we're in a tough game, let's show off what our insane skill can do, our aim, and we can see them a little bit isolated, spacing's not great, maybe they look for individual fights here or there, but if Big can keep up just the trading at least, it's such a good basis, it's such a good sort of avenue and foundation to actually spiral a game from. But first, full buy from Big, we will see it be successful, but Danich instantly with the first kill, JDC pressing the issue fast towards Canals, is fully blind and slightly isolated now, should be allowed to back away with Searson's position now. Just yet, apparently. Trunic does spot, and the aggression's been unraveled entirely. You see, JDC, it feels like he had no escape. Probably the best chance was towards A main. Maybe needed Crimbo to come out of there and support him in that fight against Trunic, but instead it allows Trunic to find Sirison and leave JDC all alone to his demise.
Dabson taken out there by Fozil, even though he had a pretty good position. I guess he wanted that weapon, but could have been played a lot better, as Crimbo is all alone. And Fozil, caught with a smoke in hand. There we go. Crimbo finding a kill. Looking for some more though. Does he expect Vert in cave? That is the big question, as Vert is in a very good position. Crimbo, I think this is a very good spot to be in. I don't know if Team Space expect it, but they will check it. There we go. Bert sees the barrel, starts shooting a little early. That could have been a problem, to be honest.
I've seen those be lost. I've seen those gunfights go against them. But kill does still go the way of Team Space, just about. Did scare me there when it looked like Vert might have questioned going out alone first to try to take down the player, but we do see a good bit of patience. Wait for Trunic to come on by. But a good looking round for Team Space, and they do deny Big stringing any full buys together. Deny them leveling this game up and instead force them onto this eco.
Yeah, I really like how Team Space look at this point. I do remember them being, starting off as one of the teams that were not able to make it through the playing stage, and now we see them in the playoffs and facing up against Big. Of course, it's very early on to tell what's going to happen, but it's just the discipline that they're showing right now, right? Not pushing into a side even though they have the player advantage, waiting for all of their teammates to group up and play together. And right now they are up against an eco. We'll see if they start pushing into the stack here. That's going on by Big. Big do have a deagle into process, but that is about it. It's just going to be a space, a flash from Dabson to enable them for the push. Although, Team Space, they are grouping up here. And I'm going to be honest, CMD, I've seen this before, and it turned very ugly. We'll see if it turns ugly for Team Space as well. As Big gets aggressive, it will not, because Trunic, only able to get 2. I could have sworn he gets the 3rd on the process as well. The deagle does deliver, but now Vert, oh my, that was actually closer than it might have seemed. As Crimbo, USB in hand, it should be over. I mean, if he gets one more kill, that's actually very good for basically a full eco round. But apart from that, there we go, Crimbo, a kill, and it is 3 players eliminated from the 7 Team Space, so they will have to reinvest into those.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, that's a pretty solid eco there for Big. And it was probably closer than it looked. I mean, I kind of do say if maybe we didn't end up seeing Big initially go for that push, maybe we wouldn't have seen Trunic get those first couple of kills. Maybe we could have seen them caught out a bit. Maybe if Dabson's flash was slightly earlier. Who knows? All up in the air. But either way, 3 kills. You force a lot of util, force a lot of reinvestments out for Team Space, and keep their economy very humble. I mean, look at Vert and X5. Don't have a lot of cash, but a lot more speed in this one. Wanted to take the fight, but it could go against him as there's 3 players here towards A early doors. But look at the spaces created for X5.
Oh, X5 had a chance there to eliminate Dabson. They do force him back with a util, but in the meantime, Searson finds an opening kill onto Vert. He is taken down quickly after by Fozel, as he was still being aggressive towards A main. For now, Team Space, they are still taking their time, but they should know there's a couple of players here. Crimbo eliminated JDC. Timing could be good, but Tabson was taken down as well, so it's now a disadvantage. And Danist, very good awareness to take down JDC. Process can't do anything about it. He's just going to turn around, save the M4. And even though Big, you know, we were talking about how they got 3 kills, how the economy is not going to be looking too good for Team Space overall, doesn't matter. The economy doesn't matter as long as you win the round.
Yeah, and that's one thing that Big right now. It feels like they're in nice positions, but Team Space is one step sort of ahead of them there. I love the early A pressure and aggression that they showed, allowing mid to sort of be freed up for some of the T's. They didn't actually find a kill initially from there, but it allowed them to really crunch onto that A bomb site and make the map feel very claustrophobic for Big. Really impressed with what we're seeing. I understand it's very early doors. I understand it's Team Space's map pick. They're on the favored side. Still loads of CS left to be played here in map 1, but early doors at least, these are very, very promising signs.
Yeah, it's just something that Big might be uncomfortable with, but I was talking about how they should be able to adjust to whatever Team Space are bringing up to the table. Sure, maybe not in a couple of rounds time, but soon enough, because it's already 5 on the board for Team Space. Don't get me wrong, they are on the favored side of the map, so that's still a part of it. But Big, only able to find a single round so far. This one, not really all that promising considering the buy that they have right now, so Team Space, if they play their cards right, should be up to 6 soon enough. I do like how Team Space, you know, kind of changed around, and they're not really all that aggressive at this point, although they could have been, but probably would have been a bad play. JDC, oh, he kind of reveals his position that he's up close. Vert might have been unaware, but there's a boost going on into the side looking into B main, and that's why JDC is so active. Flash comes through. Vert, that's actually Trunic landing the headshot, and Process, he's gonna go down. He turns around for a second, drops a molly. He's waiting for the push to start, commence from the side of Team Space, but the smokes will slow them down just a little bit more.
I'm still gonna take some space through this, and you can see the lack of vision from the CTs. Urson's USP can't find that final bullet, but will do it so eventually. 3 players survive once again for Team Space, so they are gradually going to be building up their economy, but it's not going to be anything too crazy, and certainly are still going to be able to be reset eventually from Big. But I wouldn't mind seeing a bit of a timeout. I wouldn't mind seeing sort of... Oh, there we go. Perfect timing, actually. Yeah, I wouldn't mind actually seeing everyone sort of get on the same page a little bit. Try to rally the troops a bit more as a squad, because things aren't looking brilliant for now. It's a 6-1 deficit for Big, but I mean, there's still the possibility, however unlikely, we can still see Big get a 6-6 half, and that would be, I mean, that would be incredible. That would be a brilliant response, but also just a brilliant half in general. But we do need to start to see Big actually start posting a few more rounds.
So, Trunic there, probably, yeah, there we go. Trunic had a little bit of an issue, had to step away from the PC. Should be back soon enough. So, what I was wondering is, if you see Vert, he didn't have a weapon. He got dropped an M4. I saw Trunic pick up an M4 instead of an AK.
Did the same thing in a round prior.
Yeah, which is not really all that usual. You know, you usually want the AK, the one-shot headshot potential. But was it, you know, I want to play the M4, I'll just get it and there we go. Or I'll just get the M4 and drop it to whoever has to, you know, needs a drop. So that's his punishment. Because Trunic now, he's probably going to buy up an AK. So, yeah, it's not really.
So, it's interesting. So, my friend's been doing this quite a lot, actually, when we play. He's forcing the CTs to buy head armor or get one hit by the M4. He does that a lot. So, you can see there's 3 players who don't have head armor. So they're still going to get one-hit headshot from that M4, and there's a couple that have, maybe because they are aware that this M4 or these M4s are going to be in play. But right now, Danis is tearing this CT defense apart, and just like that, the B bomb site has been opened up, and this looks like another round prime for Team Space. These full buys are getting decimated from Big. They just can't even have a response. But I do like the M4 play. If that's what they're going for, I love it.
You know, what I was thinking about is that Team Space, they put it into second gear when they're in a buy round, then they slow down when they're on an anti-eco, then they start pick it up again. They just keep on bouncing between aggressive plays and slow plays, and it works out wonders. Big, it just seems like they're completely confused. They're not reacting to, or not necessarily not reacting, but they're not getting kills in return. It was just Danis rushes down B main, gets the first kill, gets the second kill. Sure, he's eliminated right after, but he already got 2 opening kills, 2 entry kills into the site, so it doesn't really matter if he goes down because the op will be picked up either way. So yeah, just insane stuff here from Team Space and from Danis as well. I really like the playstyle that they're showing right now. And Big, well, it's not gonna be the best buy out of all we've seen during the game. It's gonna be another half buy basically for them. Team Space, they're doing really well.
I mean, sometimes all you need though, Pop, is one of these weaker half-buy rounds to just go your way, and then it feels like you get a bit of momentum on your side, a bit of confidence, a bit of wind in your sails, and then from there we can start to see a few more rounds being posted. But it feels like these sort of rounds that we've seen from Big haven't really even been competitive, and I feel like that's the biggest issue, is when you're watching a team like Big who can't really even compete in these round-to-round bases against a team like Team Space who realistically probably should be getting 2-0'd by them.
Yeah, no, if you're just judging, you know, the environment that they're used to, right, the tier that they play in and so on and so forth, you would see the score basically reversed, or you would at least expect for it to be reversed. But it's just Team Space playing out of their minds, and the team play as well. Vert not peeking by himself. They're trying to trade off of each other effectively. JDC does find a kill on the True Nick. Crimbo, an elimination onto X5, and hold on, this might actually turn around for the side of Big, because as you mentioned, those eco wins, those can actually propel you back into the game. JDC with the M4 eliminates Fozil, and it's all down to Danis. Now, he did do really well with the op in the previous round, but again, he replicated, this time actually getting 3 kills, and he is by himself. There's no help from a teammate for a potential raid, although it does seem like he abandons the round, and it's understandable. 15 seconds left on the clock, so there we go. Big actually stealing a round here. Very well done, but I do still feel that they need to string rounds together, because again, the pressure is on them. It's not onto Team Space. Team Space, they're chilling. They're up 7-2 on the favored side of the map. I don't think they're scared at all.
No, I mean, you do think one of the biggest reasons why Big probably ended up winning that round is JDC getting 2 kills, but also keeping himself alive. We see he was the one boosting a player up, boosting the rifle up. He just had a pistol, and somehow, as the pistol, able to get one back away and then find another, and that was massive for Big in that one. But it feels like the trading just wasn't perfect. I mean, the spacing was great. It just, the trade didn't come through, sadly, for Team Space, but still in a good position. But we do get to see a bit of that experience from Big there. When Danis is in that 1v3, nothing given up to him. Not allowing him any opportunity to get back into the round. Showing that discipline. Will reward Big with a round. Team Space finally will lose another. I won't be surprised if they can go back to winning ways.
Yeah, I think Big need quite a lot of rounds in a row here to actually inspire some fear in the side of Team Space. Although Process, nice shot on the True Nick. It's just going to be the surprise at the edge of the smoke there. Danis through the wall is going to take down Searson. Still a couple of players towards the A site, and JDC is close by to help if he is needed. Still no AWP available for Big. That could pose a problem. Good nade towards Tapson. But it does seem like they want to reposition right now. They only leave Danis by himself in towards mid. And he might not actually find the right timing. Now, it might actually be a flanking op. I don't know if that's the best of ideas.
I think they'll just leave him as a lurk, sort of just to try to catch off JDC rotated. He's only 15 points of health. One bullet, going 1-for-1 feels like not too bad in that situation. Keeping that presence, but he is advancing actually. Looking like he wants to make some space. Might have a chance against JDC, but no, it looks like he is going to be just flanking up for now.
Oh, the nade comes through. Process was being held, but he still gets the kill onto Fozil. Now the question is, does Process start pushing closer to the site? Well, he does, and he's gonna go down to X5, and they have full control over Temple. They know no one's coming from that direction. Crimbo, good shot onto X5. JDC all the way towards CT spawn, and Crimbo kind of expects the player to just be straight onto the bomb. Dennis, swings out, and that baits Crimbo. Now GDC in a one-on-one against the enemy offer. Land some bullets, but not the kill. And Dennis, he's actually going to win the one-on-one with the P250. Barely still alive. Needs to be careful on those jumps. Trip on a rock and you go down. But what a round one there by Dennis. So important that he baits the first player to look towards him, and then he's able to land this headshot with a P250.
Oh, that really is crazy. I mean, great find initially to open up things. I mean, Process, nice double kill, but you understand what he's trying to do. He's low HP, he wants to swing, see if he can grab something else and put his team in a good position, but I wouldn't have minded just seeing him wait a little bit. Confirm that certain areas can't be taken from the T's, they can only be in this area. And then even if he just plays to get traded by one of his teammates, but he went very alone, very isolated from the rest of the squad, so did go down, but aggression from Vert doesn't work out initially. Trade will come through. So a 4-on-4 early doors. Tabson feels like he hasn't really had too much of a chance to play this first half, but you can kind of make the argument for most of the big players. 5 kills, 6 actually on Process. The top fragger for the roster is pretty crazy when you consider 6 is the bottom fragger of Team Space.
Yeah, it just feels like in some of those rounds, at least for Big, it doesn't really make sense what Space are doing. Although JDC and Process aggress in mid and they take down a couple of players, I think just this playstyle of straight up pushing through smokes and all of that, I don't think that flies at tier 1 level, right? Because you're always going to be held in different positions and it's just so complicated. But Team Space just go for it, and they completely take Big by surprise, because it's something that, at least for Big, it doesn't make sense to do that, right? So that's why they're most of the time they are surprised by those aggressive pushes that in the end Team Space only have the advantage in, but they somehow just create the advantage themselves. In this round though, Trunic and Dennis, they will just save the 2 weapons, and it will be Big to reach 3. It's not a bad save considering we're going to be moving into the last round of the first half, and money could be a slight issue there. So Big only able to get 3 so far, potentially 4, right? And 4 to 8 would not be the worst out of what we could have seen here at a Big, especially as they will be moving into the favored side of the map. Is it their favorite side? Actually, no. Percentage wise, they're better at the CT side. Ooh, that is not a good side, to be honest.
No, it's certainly not the best sign for Big, but at least getting 4 would give them a fighting chance. You've got to think winning that pistol round as well. At least you'd probably move up to 6, maybe even 7 if we see Team Space go for a 4 spy, and then you're right back in the game. But 3 is definitely going to be a lot more difficult, considering Team Space could be pretty much 1 pistol away from winning the whole game. And that's when Ancient is really going to be tested. But final round of this one, we've seen Big start to pose a bit more of a threat in these last few rounds. We'll see if they can manage it in their final round of this CT side. You mentioned money, not going to be perfect for Space. Do see a couple of MAC-10s in play. Other than that, everyone's pretty comfortable in terms of weaponry, but we've seen a couple of aggressive plays through smokes, very quick bursts. These MAC-10s feel like the perfect weapons to do so.
Well, as they were using quite a lot of aggression. Does seem like those Mac-10s just scream out aggression. Would expect just a fast play out of them. Good nade though. Chase some HP off of Dennis and Vert. And it came in from the A site. Dennis trying to cover for his teammate to get himself a little closer. As Vert will start to put pressure onto Cave. Another nade coming through. Trunik almost able to find Sears and almost able to eliminate the enemy Opper, and he will be denied. Fozil with one onto Crimbo. The problem is the Opper is still here. Searson, can he get at least one more before going down? Oh no, Vert just lands the headshot through the smoke. Never mind, he cannot. Tabson tries to shut them down, and he's gonna find one onto Vert. Team space now. It's an issue of pushing together. Process with the flank. Fozil turns around, gets the kill, but oh my, he was able to take down JDC as well. Tabson will save the day. It got way too close, considering how Team Space did have a player pushing towards the site, but the other 3 players were waiting around. I don't know, the team play kind of broke there. So that's why Big are able to get themselves up to 4. But even still, as you said, Team Space, it's not 9, it's only 8, but best round is going to get them quite ahead.
Yeah, it did follow, like you mentioned, team play slightly broke down. No one really wanted to be the one to commit fully into that bomb site, and then we see Process on that flank. Not only finding 2, but does so much damage to Fozil as well. You've got to think, maybe if he didn't get tagged at all, we saw the instant trade, there's a world where he ends up winning that clutch. Where not only does he kill the first, he will take down Tabson as well. But this is the pitch round we were talking about, how important it is. Trunik does find the first, but Dan is ripped out the server.
Process trying to close the gap at Trunik. Look at this. It's a quad kill out of Trunik. And Crimbo is all alone. Bomb down in mid. He has to clutch it up 1-on-4 to try and get big. The 5th round on the board, but with how Trunik is doing in this piston round. And overall, he's 18-5. He is so good. Crimbo might find one here. If there's any overextension out of X5, Dualies long range, not really the best pistols to use. But soon enough, he is going to be surrounded.
We do at least see Fozil give him a bit of a chance there. Crimbo actually gets a bit of a 1v1 fight, but even then, only does 12 damage to Fozil, who will end up taking him down. 9-4, the pistol that felt like Big desperately needed was certainly a necessity for their side, has gone against them. And with no investment looking like it's going to come out here, it will be that 10-4 scoreline unless something goes drastically wrong for Team Space here.
Oh, just a couple of seconds later with that nade, and that could have been a lot of damage inside the Big. Dennis, oh, with the help of the flash, gets himself a double kill. Vert fight alongside his teammate, but they both peek out and they're both eliminated. They do have to go through the M4 of X5 now, and that makes it a whole lot harder as they retrieve an MP9, and they could also get a new MP, but as we know, the M4 is a little stronger. JGC backs away with the bomb. Crimbo with the MP9 down in water. They kind of split up right now.
Maybe just hoping that Team Space give them some more aggression, but that's not really going to happen. The bomb on the Glock of JDC, with Crimbo, the only real weapon being this MP9. Maybe coming from E-Box. This isn't going to be an easy task. So is jiggling, spots out both of the players. Won't be able to take down anyone just yet. Well, he is good to force JDC out slightly, but we do need to see Team Space start to make a bit of a move. Great positioning from Crimbo, a little bit of damage. Just want to take anything too quickly. Start to advance, but you can see the armor being a real issue there. The lack of Crimbo, the aim punch will remove him from it. And Trunik being given the defuse. I want to say this is for the AWP. So the AWP can be invested easier. alongside some util. Going to be interesting if that is the case, but we will see Team Space win that round. Nice couple of kills from Big. Nothing too special for an eco, but certainly a solid one.
Maybe it's for a point on an ultimate. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong game. Never mind.
Ooh. We've got a long best of 3. Let's not make it any harder than it has to be.
But it does seem like, I mean, Dennis does have an op right now, so it does seem like that was the reasoning behind it. And we'll see if he can start delivering straight away as he's looking down into mid. Oh, Roses. Drop some bits of util. There's the smoke coming in. Molly as well. Dennis will back away. Not gonna wait around for the peaks out of Big. Just gonna get himself into a better position. Smoke is a little late. That nade would have been a little better placed. X5 takes out Crimbo though, and that's an opening kill outside of A main. And they actually have 3 players towards A, so for Big, this shouldn't be too easy to take control of.
Yeah, this could be a bit of a challenge. X5 dropping the molly as well, but very nearby, getting ready to swing off them. Util is getting dumped out just to try to create some space for the mid players, but they opt to back away, interestingly enough.
Ooh. Yeah, there we go. It's Tapson burling down through water, but Thrunik and Fozel, they shut them down. Searson backstabbed, also taken down by Fozel. And it's down to JDC. 1 on 5, bomb dropped inside the cave. I mean, nothing he can do really here. He just has to back away. Saving the AK is a pretty good idea, but probably will not be allowed to do so as X5 is very close. JDC not looking in the right direction, and there we go. Team Space. An important round here. The first buy round of Big goes array, and it's 11 on the board. Ooh, interesting boost. It's 11 on the board for Team Space. I get sidetracked easily. And 2 more rounds needed to secure Anubis.
Yeah, certainly very near. Well, it feels like the beginning of the end on map number 1 for Big. We haven't really got to even see them going. I like to at least say when teams sort of do get sort of decimated, we at least saw glimpses. Have we? Have we really seen glimpses from Big? They've been so few and far between. It feels like it's generous to even say that. We have seen a very few amount of moments, but it feels like it was more someone really having a big moment to win around. Process with a great flank, JDC with a big hold towards B. Other than that, we haven't really seen anything too special, but look at this. It's just another round. Sure, it's not a hefty investment, but another round that just looks like an absolute domination, absolute bloodbath towards the A-bomb site. Dennis is wanting to take this fight, wanted it to advance. So is X5. Everyone wants to find this kill. That's the confidence that it feels like is on this team right now. The Tech 9 will find one at least. Will get traded pretty quickly after, and what could be the final round of map 1 feels like we've arrived here a lot quicker than I think many people, including us, probably thought.
Yeah, this is completely unexpected. I mean, 8 map points right now for Team Space. Sure, you can make the case that they picked into this map. They were expected to do good. I mean, not this good, but they are playing really, really well. And Big, as you said, not really a lot of glimpses of them. I'm sure some rounds here and there, but they feel, and I'm pretty sure they were pretty much cherry-picked. I mean, yeah, sure, they got the last 2 rounds of the first half, but Space were already up to 8 by that point, which is way too many. And now, as they are on the favorite side, Big, this is the side we were expecting for them to start getting more and more. But look at this, they're just being shut down completely. Crimbo tries to get that kill, and he gets it onto X5, but Tapson fell as well behind him. And Crimbo's on 1 HP. Vert surprising JDC. Searson finds one into Fozel, but oh, timing is perfect actually. Vert will be eliminated as well, and hold on. This could actually turn the way of Big, but the problem is, combine their HP. They're on 47, and Searson has 46. You can do the math there.
Trunic has just started shifting now. He was running this whole way. I don't know if these steps would have been heard. Judging by the lack of turning or movement from Crimbo, I'm going to say no, is going to be spotted. Are we going to see a knife round? Oh my god, is it going to be a knife kill? Or is he looking for them both? will eventually take him down. And I think taking down Crimbo is basically confirmed. The rounds are also going to fall apart. Sursen just 46 points of health. 9 and 14 really hasn't been Sursen's best showing. 20 seconds on the clock. Where's the avenue that you go to?
Well,
nowhere.
They were closed down. Every single way was closed down. Danis takes him down as Team Space to secure Anubis, and well, this is very far from what we would have expected, right? Because we both said that if we get to Dust 2, we could see Space like
was that they were just entering into sites. They were just using what Trunic and I think it was Danis, those two, to pretty much win them rounds. And it wasn't even like some insane flash plays. It was utility to force missed positions, and I expect a lot more of this same here from Team Space. Now, albeit a lot harder as we head into Ancient. Ball is back in their court. They still have to answer for a little bit more, and you two.
Well then, Team Space, they choose to start on the CT side here, although I've seen quite recently a lot of teams doing a lot better on that T side, interestingly enough. We'll see how it goes as Bozil is the first one to aggress through the smoke, does deal a good amount of damage, but the Glocks are shooting back, and Bozil will be the first one to go down to Process as they're trying to get the bomb planted. X5 eliminated by Searson. And
a lot of damage.
A 3-on-5 retake.
I mean, a lot of damage dealt to Tabson, but it doesn't really feel like it matters too much. Just having that extra man is so key. Maybe if Tabson went down, I'd start to believe, but a 3-on-5, this feels really challenging. They do have that smoke grenade on Vert. But once again, we've seen that discipline. We saw it one round from Big, and that Danis 1v3. Nothing's being given up. Oh, and the team kill is so brutal. Danis will find one, but I imagine that's all that's going to be found. Does double up before eventually falling. Trunic's life is limited, and Big will win the pistol round. It just came from those early entries. They were very 50-50 gunfights. I mean, you got to think the first kill that they found on Tifosi was just straight up through the smoke. Could have went either way, but Big taking that early kill, spiraling it from there, not giving anything up in that 5-on-3. Much better looking start to this game from Big, and at least a bit of momentum going in their favor.
Yeah, that just felt like a must-win pistol round. They need to get something going for themselves, and as Team Space will just eco it out, Big should take this one no problem. If this one somehow goes array, it could be a very big issue for so the Big. That nade is going to take down Fozil and get Bert down to about half HP. Danis, the only one that actually upgraded his pistol, will be going down soon enough, and there we go. Does look like a potentially clean round here for Big as Crimbo eliminates X5, and it is a flawless round for Big to get that economy behind them, trying to have a safety net to fall upon as Team Space are looking for an answer back. M4s on the board for Team Space. I was actually looking at their most recent results, and they kind of had some harsh losses against Passion UA and Rare Adam, losing 13-4 and 13-5. It's not the greatest size, but they did win against Eyeballers 13-9, so that's also pretty good. I think it's kind of a hit or miss map for Team Space as well, and we'll see if this one is a hit or a miss.
Yeah, interestingly enough, we did actually see Danis upgrade not only his pistol, but also bought armor behind it. Could have actually technically gone for a glass cannon AWP, I believe. Just the 2 kills in the pistol really provided him that extra bit of cash. But Trunic with the opening kill is key. But the push through the smoke from JDC is even better. 2 kills, flashbang, excellent from Crimbo. And look at the space that allows Tapson and Co to take. X5 grabs one back, so we do have a 3-on-3 here. But so much space towards CT and Temple being found.
Ooh, Danis was in a very good position. They didn't know he was still hanging around in Donut, but missing the chance there. That just signals potential save, or maybe not. X5, he is looking for some aggression, but as no one is deep into CT anymore, they're just gonna back away. If they still had someone into an advanced position, they're Big into CT, and they find him early on, maybe they would have gone for the retake, but no, they'll just play it safe. And it will be a 3rd round on the board for Big, with Team Space saving a couple of weapons. shouldn't really be enough for another buy. I'm just trying to think. They should be on 2,900 right now, so maybe they really want to try and raise the issue into the next round as well. Just here. Yeah, 2,900. So
I mean, technically, if they really wanted to, they could drop. It feels too risky for a buy that you're limiting the util on X5 and Fozil to get a buy that's not even going to be perfect out. I just want to see the half buy around these weapons, because at the end of the day, Pop, we can still see buys like these be won, can't we?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know about Nova, but everything else I can get behind.
Well, I'm curious where Dennis is actually going to be playing this. I thought it'd be surely towards K, but he's heading towards the A side of things. So I'm hoping this Nova gets some action in this one at least. X5 pushed towards the short area, goes completely against them, and Vert being taken down. This is a completely different look to Big that we didn't see remotely in map number 1.
For sure, it's just their mid control is so good, and the utility usage is perfect as well. Team space constantly being flashed, not able to trade effectively. And we might actually get to see some action out of Nova here, but if 3 players start pushing in next to Danis, I don't think he can get another bullet in the chamber, or rather another slug into the chamber soon enough. Trunic.
I like the setup.
Oh, yeah, he could help out a lot with that 5-7. Oh no, the Nova goes down instantly.
Yeah, we were talking about a second bullet. Maybe he tries to get the first off at least.
Yeah.
Could have been. Maybe could have been. Because that was a decent setup. I mean, you can see the Nova finding 1. Seeing the 5-7 swing off. I mean, I've seen rounds like that spiral, but Big. Not going to let it happen in this one. And they do have that 4-0 start. Instant find there from Process. Almost gets the second, but Trunic will at least find 1. We're going to need to see a bit more here. Danis is finally going to be on that big green.
Well, this time Big actually leaving mid kind of open, but JDC quickly after just re-aggresses and is able to take down Trunic. Team space, they just constantly keep losing that duel in mid, and I think at some point they are going to stop aggressing into that direction because it just doesn't get them any results. Big just walk away with opening kills more or less for free, as they will find a process their team space. They have abandoned the A site, and if they find JDC, they're actually going to be in a player advantage position. There we go, Vert with a second kill. Danis eliminating Searson, and it's down to only 2 players from the side of Big. Molly comes through, Flash as well, and Tabson gets himself an op. He's going to take down Danis. They are being also flanked from all the way to spawn. Tabson with a second kill. And he might be doing even better with the op than he does with the rifle. Looking for 1 more inside the cave. Tabson, that is a 3rd, and up against X5 right now in a 1-on-1 to secure it around here. X5, nade in hand, and it is Tabson to secure it around with a quad kill out of an op. He's not an opper, but it doesn't really matter because he hits the shots.
Yeah, it feels like a bit of vintage Tabson there to see him back on the AWP. Great to see, but a really big round. But I mean, sure, that round in the middle portion sort of fell apart a little bit from Big before they picked things back up. But once again, it feels like we're seeing a tier 1 team against one who can't really match them, just in terms of the mid aggression alone. I'm loving the different timings that Big are sending JDC out towards mid. Team space are really struggling to get a hand on him at all, because he's 7-2 right now. The amount of space he's taken from Big, but the early kills that he's finding too are so strong. They're really brilliant.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. Those timings are very confusing right now for Team Space, and even though they kind of won the mid duel in the previous round, more or less, I don't know if they still want to go for those kind of plays. Well, the utility being used in mid, and Danis is the first one to aggress. They're gonna keep on following JDC, but guess what? He's not alone. He's got support. Tabson eliminated by Dennis, but now Dennis is all alone and not able to take down JDC, even though there was a tactical pause at the side of Team Space. A lot more results gained on all that aggression, and now with the weapons, maybe the team or the attack pause was for this round and not the previous. But it just looked like it looks like a complete opposite game of what happened before, right? It was Team Space completely dominating on Anubis. It's Big dominate on their own map in the first 6 rounds at least.
Yeah, still very early doors hit on Ancient, sorry, but Dust 2 could be primed for a really thrilling map number 3 if we do end up getting there. But Big so far really wanted to bring us there. JDC being one to lead the lines in that. Could be taken down here though. Does get dinked. Missed AWP shot from Danis. Gives JDC another chance at life, and this is where the B call comes through. Fortil's in a great position, but he can't even find the first. Process is the one to take him down. Vert will eventually take down the low HP JDC. Space has been taken. You'd end up seeing Process get flashed in there, but just the information he's gained, surely Team Space give this one a crack.
Well, they are slowly pushing in. They do still have X5 on a potential flank, but look at that Process finding 2 players lined up. Dennis trades, but the round is over. Nothing they can get done here. Sure, upgrades to an AK there, X5, but yeah, that's basically it. Round's over. Big securing 7. This is such a big difference here, and while I do say, you know, the pressure even increased on the side of Big as they did lose the first map. If Big just continue on like this with the second one, Team Space, I don't know if they're gonna be as confident as they were previously on that Dust 2. I don't think I would be, even watching this game. Second tactical pause called in because no success at all has been found by Team Space. Big, this does look like their home turf.
I mean, this is the thing though, isn't it? This is what we know that Big coming into a series like this, that they can just do. They can just flick that switch and become this team that they always have had the potential to be, that we've seen them in the past be. But we just haven't seen it consistently, and that's been the biggest issue for them. If they can do it here and close out Ancient in a pretty one-sided fashion, I definitely think the momentum of the series would completely shift into their favor, and thus we can have a real conversation for what could become of that. But Team Space are still a team full of individuals, and Dust is always a map that they're going to absolutely love to play, and we've seen it statistically. They do love to play it, but still more, like I said, to be said here on Ancient. We're just going to need to see a bit from Team Space right now, because Big, yeah, night and day in comparison to what we saw from them on Anubis.
I think they realize it, right? It's not something that should have happened ever against Team Space, and during this pause, they decided to kind of change things up a bit, have a little bit more confidence in their plays, maybe. X5 had a chance there to eliminate Process, manages to get away with his life, barely, as he was spotted. Process, oh, he knows that X5 is right next to him, but Process misses a chance. Tapson comes in with a trade. JDC, he's just a monster in mid, even though he's pushed up against the wall in Red Room, able to find a double kill, and it is now an advantageous position for Big, as they have yet to get the bomb onto the site itself. But Crimbo, he is moving up close and personal with that AK, even though he does have that bomb available. He'll try to push towards CT. Vert, important find onto Tapson, making it equal numbers right now. Oh, but they're thinking it was just a potential fake. Crimbo still aggressing towards CT, even though he has the bomb for a second there, just taking a peek, but he's going to back away. He can get the bomb planted safely, because Team Space, they're overthinking this situation. They still don't know yet. Or do they? I feel like they do.
Yeah, gonna double up towards short, depending on timing. Seriously, could really shut them down here, but all it takes is one shot from both Danis and Sirison. Dennis holding the line right now. Both AWPers miss. Yeah, they're gonna know they're both coming from this flank area. The jiggle isn't good enough from Dennis, and Sirison finds, and that's gonna be Vert's decision to get out of that round is gonna be done, but might not be allowed to. Spotted. He'll survive though. Another round from Big though. One thing I find really interesting in that 3-on-2 there, Pop, is we ended up seeing, you mentioned it, we ended up seeing Crimbo get very aggressive with that bomb. Even when Tabson was still alive, they didn't want to actually get that bomb down instantly. They wanted to look for something more, and I'm curious about the decision making behind that. Were they potentially trying to just sort of catch the CTs off, make them think we're not going to instantly go for this plant, we're going to swing on you before you're realizing it? Obviously, it didn't exactly work out. Tabson did go down for nothing, but it's an interesting thought process for Big regardless.
Yeah, even though they had a player advantage, it's something a little unusual, but I think you have to go into the unusual in this best of 3 at least, because as we saw, and they didn't really go for it, it didn't work out for them either. Look at this though, Process, Sirison. More aggressive play towards the B site. Dennis rotated in and he gets himself a double kill, but Process able to secure a double as well. Molly comes through to slow down the bomb plan, but Process aggresses, finds a third and a fourth as well. It's a quad kill from Process, and Big, they're not conceding anything just yet. It is 9-0. Big, this is like a completely different team, and I think, you know, they just change around something. I don't think they're sticking to their usual plans. I think they're doing everything a little bit, not necessarily faster, but with a lot more aggression, with a lot more confidence. And I think that's why it works out so well for them. Because Team Space, sure, they can be confident that they won the first map. But if Big just win 13-0 here, I don't think how confident it can be. JDC picks into 3 players, still able to get one of them. That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely loved the last round we saw there. We saw Process get flashed in and Sirison hold for the swing, and it worked out perfectly. Dennis does get a double still. A bit of a bright spark for this Team Space roster, and finally an advantage had in their favor. We're going to see a boost over this smoke. Crimbo surely isn't going to be aware of it, but it doesn't matter how aware he is. Still finds the kill. Tabson finds Trunic elsewhere, and X5 is too low to attempt this round. It's done again, even a round where Team Space have the favor, and it's done. It's over. Oh, this is going to be a 10-0 in favor of the Germans. Ancient in the last 3 months is exactly 50-50 in terms of the siding. This is a ridiculous scoreline, isn't it?
I'm very confused. I don't know how it gets to this. How do you have the presence of mind after losing the first map 13-4, albeit not your own map pick, don't get me wrong, but then move into your own map pick and just be insanely good? It's just the fact of, I'm just wondering, thinking how can you be so strong mentally, you know? Because I know what would happen if I would lose the game 13-4. Probably my keyboard will know as well. No, I'm joking, but I would be pretty mad, you know? And if I knew it was a best of 3, I would be like, well, let's try to win, but
not truly in that belief. Yeah, but I think it's so impressive. But this is the experience, isn't it, of these guys? They've been through this sort of thing before, and you can make the argument that Big, amongst very few other teams here in the CCT, have this huge level of experience where even in these really tough moments, even in your lowest points, you can still make this comeback from. And this is something that, like I said, there's not many teams, and even some of the other teams like Gamer Legion, you arguably only really have someone like Snacks in that team. The whole Big team here, they've been through this before. They're in a pretty rough patch of form as it is as a team in general, but still 13-4, and this is the response we're seeing right now, a 10-0 lead. Us too. I think we're going to be seeing it a lot sooner than I thought. I'm pretty sure this game started 15 minutes ago.
Maybe even less, to be completely honest with you.
There's a good chance. This could be a 20-minute map at the rate we're going.
Yeah.
Speed running Ancient.
Any percent. Ancient Team Space percent, rather. Well, Big, you know, as you mentioned, they have been through this. time and time again, although JDC found by Trunic, I will get back to my point in a second here as Big are getting ready to execute on the B side. Not only they have been through this before, Tabson has been through this with the same team. He's been a team for 7 years and a half. So surely he has been through this before. And look at this. Even when Team Space have the advantage, they were in a 4-on-3. Big, they slow things down. They're putting pressure onto Team Space. Pressure that shouldn't be there because they have the player advantage, but they lost control of the site. Now the problem is, time is running out. Can they stop the bomb plan here? Posel, unable. Searson does get the trade and sold down to Danis. Up in hand, will find Crimbo. It is between the operas right now. Searson against Danis. Ooh, good angle. Danis could bait a shot here out of Searson, but he's not gonna miss. And Big, there's no stopping. It's, oh my god, it's 11-0 here, CMD. How is this possible?
I don't even believe it. It feels like I'm dreaming at this point. This is such a ridiculous response. It feels like every player is making the right decision. Seriously, the reposition from him to get tucked behind those boxes, it's just an angle that Danis isn't going to expect. So you see him clear the initial angle.
Yeah.
And then sort of, okay, he must be sort of playing for the bomb tap or something. Nope. No, he's just there holding. Perfect positioning. Perfect 1v1 clutch. And another round for Big. 11 of them, in fact, right now. Process, surely you don't push through this. That would have been a confident play. JDC tagged down heavily through the smoke. Just 14 points of health, but mid, you can see the change up from Team Space earlier on in this game to now, zero mid fight from them. They don't want to take this at all, but Process, the positioning, the re-aggression is so strong, and that's the B site open for the taking. Mid-fight comes through, mid-fight disappears. JDC now wielding the big green, finds 2 pop. This is the most ridiculous game of CS I think I've ever seen so far.
I don't want to be asked in the pre-show of the map who I think is going to win. I have no idea.
Don't ask us predictions.
I mean, 12-0 in the first half of Ancient. We just had Team Space completely destroy Big on Anubis. Then Big strike back and they say, we can do it even better on our own map pick. One, like, piss around away from winning the map. What is this? How is this possible? I'm just so confused.
If this is a 13-0, this is going to be a wild best of 3. 13-4 from Team Space into a potential 13-0 from Big. Dust 2, let me tell you, that's gonna be an interesting watch. But believe it or not, round number 13, and also potentially the final round of Ancient here, which I don't think I've ever said before. But here we are, Crimbo getting aggressive with these Jawlies, has a one-on-one fight with Trunic. He might not be expecting this aggression this quick into it. Timing looks really good for Crimbo, but Trunic does clear. Doesn't find the kill though. The bomb is on Vert and he's alone. Has to back away from main and join his teammates in mid.
They're gonna try to get themselves to the red room, but Tabson hears this information relayed onto his teammates. JDC finds a headshot before going down, but Tabson finds 3, and there we go. That's the second map. Big. They win 13-0 after losing Anubis 13-4. How is this even possible? Winning with a 13-0, and you were. And we are back, ready for the final map of the best of 3 here. Big and Team Space. Well, this one could go in any way, shape, or form. We have no idea. We just witnessed a 13-4 from Team Space, a 13-0 from Big. So I guess it's just up to momentum. Whoever starts better is going to be feeling better. Or we might have a competitive map after all. Crimbo certainly wants to make it very competitive with the dualies here in lower tunnel, but not able to find any kills. Although JDC found Dennis. Tabson missing the chances for some headshots, but Processes want to get a kill in return. So it's still 3-on-3, still equal numbers.
Yeah, all level here, and 2 players towards A could be big, but constantly back and forth into this 2v2. JDC is going to be pressured towards the lower tunnels. They've spotted him out. The bullets not far off connecting. JDC able to make it behind the door, but this is where the bullets start to connect. And JDC will find the final 2. 3 kills in the round in total from him, and Big do kick things off with a pistol round victory. Really big stuff there.
Well, as Big were able to secure the pistol round, Team Space will force up here, and they do have an AK onto Runic. Pistols are there to deal some damage. Of course, they want to wait, so Danis softens them up for them. They do have quite a good control over mid. Big not really wanting to venture into this part of the map this early, especially against the potential force buy. They don't want to risk too many things here, as Team Space are closing in. Where's short taps and the shoulder peaks there. Dropped the nade, but Searson, he was dinked and then eliminated. Molly might be a little too late. No, it's just in time. It actually forces them back, and that gets the time in for the rotate. But Team Space, for a second, it looked like they want to choose a different option as the smokes come in. Maybe a drop from Bert with CT. BBC could pay attention to that. And, oh, he spotted him, but he's taken out by the P250.
Things are spiraling. Tabson now has to drop this smoke to try to play around, but gets a bit more than he bargained for when he spots 3 players behind that smoke. Bomb will be planted, and the force buy looks like a really good call here from Space. Crimbo surely not going to expect Fozil so close, but the T's are still peeking and taking damage. Process combines. Crimbo, what a find onto Fozil! And now it's all on the scout of Danis. Eliminated him. Big do recover around that. Looks dire for them.
Well, it looked so good, but the fact that Big were able to retake this might turn a little ugly here for the side of Space. That is not a round you want to lose. Although, you know, they get the bomb down, so they will have enough money for another force wave if they really want to go for it. X5 already getting the AK out, and Ozil gets himself a Galil, so it does seem like they might want to force up here, or it might just be a half buy. Okay, it's weird. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, they're buying and leaving Danis enough money so we can get the AWP in the next. But you can see the improvements though, Pop, can't you? You've now got the AWP. You've now got 5 rifles in play for Big. This is a much better buy than what we saw in the previous. So it's going to be an even tougher round for Team Space, and we're starting to see it come through here. The util usage, the rifles in play, it's making things very challenging. Just the Glock on Danis should be able to retrieve a weapon. Flash does come through. Will be able to pick up that Galil. Takes a little bit of chip damage in the meantime, but a 5-on-3 is a really risky play. Not only going for the initial force, but going for the second force, because we end up seeing Team Space lose this. It's going to be a 4-0 lead for Big. Really should be.
Unless Vert and Danis can pull off an insane round here, which I doubt considering how well this round started off for Big and how much they're paying attention to everything right now. You got every single angle covered. You could say there's no gaps in the defense, although if they start engaging a single player with the 2 of them, maybe there's something to be had there. You're looking to play in through short, and Searson, he's locked in with the op. Oh, there's the first peek. Searson misses the shot. We'll get the flash off. And now, as they are both fully blinded, he still misses the shot, and he's going to go down to Vert. So, we're talking about Searson needing to, you know, help a little more, but his teammates can do the job just fine. And they are not going to be able to plant a bomb there in the end. JDC gets a double kill with that FAMAS, and it will be Big with a third, and as you said, potentially a fourth, as the bomb was not planted. It's not going to be enough for a full buy, unless they want to go for some kind of weird buy with Galils and an AWP onto Dennis. No, it's just going to be basically a half one. Tech Nines, maybe try and overwhelm Big on the B side, rather. I don't think you want to go to the Tech Nines towards A. I don't think that's the best idea, but towards B, you could certainly surprise them.
Yeah, you've got to think, obviously, this is going to be a team that want to get Danis on the AWP as early as possible. They've kind of gone the route that is going to get him the AWP as late as possible. He's gone for an AK purchase in this one, which is actually going to make it a little bit more difficult for him to actually get the AWP out in the next. And we saw him save all that money to bring out the AWP just to go for a hero AK here. Finding nothing. I mean, Vert will be able to drop one. With limited utility, it feels like Team Space have made this a little bit difficult on themselves just to actually manage their finances as well as possible. Process is looking really sharp here. 6-1 currently, has another gunfight, just going to go for the jiggle, gets the information, Flash does come over, and even half HP still takes down Vert. And I'm going to ask you this question, Pop. It's still very early doors, obviously, on Dust. I'm not going to ask you for a prediction, but I'm so curious. When we do eventually see the match MVP, who is he gonna even go to? Who's even leaning towards right now? I've got no idea.
Well, on one side, I would expect Process on Big. I think he just played really well on the second map, and he was very good on the first one as well. Even though he was the only one close to being on 1 KD. And on the other side, it's either Danis or Trunic. I think both had a lot of impact on the first map as well. We saw that wonderful pistol play from Trunic in the second pistol round. So it's hard to decide between all of those players, to be honest. But I guess it comes down to I think the difference is going to be on this map, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if all of the players that I just named will be up there still after this Dusty ends, whichever way it does. Although for now, Big are looking pretty confident, and I don't think it's as confident as we saw in Ancient. I don't think we're up for another 13-0. If we are,
I think this might be history if we see 2 13-0s.
Probably. I don't think it ever happened before, yeah, but
at least not at this level.
For sure. But yeah, no, I think Team Space should be able to make it a little bit more competitive here, as Rimbo, well, he's looking into a different direction here, but is able to turn around, get himself a double kill. A flash came through, JDC striking onto Vert, and it's a 4-on-2. Now Team Space down 2 players. Can you still get something done here? Trunic eliminating Searson, and Danis is with the op inside tunnels, so maybe he can find JDC.
I mean, look at the time. Danis has to start to advance now, or it's not ever going to happen. With 10 seconds on the clock, they're going to have to go for a save. Danis had to kind of spearhead this one, but you can see how hesitant he was to actually advance with this orb. He's going to look for the save. I imagine he's going to be allowed to do so. Although we do see Big have money, I think they're going to be more than happy just to let their finances grow as a whole unit. That is what they're going to do. Danis and Trunic, 2 players that you did point out, struggling to really have that early presence that we've seen from them in previous maps. Both just 1 kill apiece here, but a 5-0 start from Big. Although these rounds have been significantly closer than we saw in Ancient, tempo is certainly in their favour.
Well, tac pause after the first 5 rounds is pretty standard stuff here. We've seen it from Team Space before. Something does need to change here, right? Because Big, again, not a lot of experience in the past 3 months. I'm not saying that they didn't practice the map, right? But when they did play against Astralis and Virtus Pro, they played way better on that T side. That's what makes it a little scary right now. Team Space, sure, they had some close chasing overtimes against Eyeballers and Rare Atom, but then again, it's a whole different beast they're playing against right now. And it's just, as we were mentioning on the previous map, Big, they just read everything perfectly. It's, Crimbo not overextending here. He was being held by the Opper. Gets himself into the corner here. As this is, well, he's not going to keep on waiting in this position, trying to surprise surprised, but that's a position we haven't really seen in a pretty long time. Searson finds the first kill onto Trueneck, and the AK is retrieved, but you're still down a player.
I mean, interestingly enough, Dust is ever so slightly T-sided, or a little bit T-sided.
Yeah.
Since it's been reintroduced into the pool, so not surprising to see Big have a better lean in, but it is quite a significant lean in they have actually towards the T side, which I think isn't as expected. Danis very much feels very isolated from this here. It's going to be the other three players pushing up towards short, and Searson going down for nothing is going to be key for Team Space to try to take this round. Just going to have Danis here towards mid, holding these rotations. Is going to have JDC to face. First task, AWP shot is missed. There's two players towards mid now, and Danis does go down for nothing. Tabson in CT, just kind of needs to keep himself alive. Nice find from X5. Vert nearby finds a kill. It's a 2-on-2 again. Crimbo, huge fight to win, and will just about do so. Fozil makes his position known, tries to look for the kill. Crimbo can't find 3.
Oh, now Process into the one-on-one, gets himself closer, and he's not going to be able to find a kill in time. No, he's going to run away. It's going to be the first round on the board for Team Space. Catching a little break here, and Process will be eliminated by the bomb explosion. Fozil not getting the reward for that, but it doesn't really matter as long as they take down all the players on the side of Big. It is going to be damage done.
That might be a round where Process is actually kicking himself a little bit, because he had to leave because he didn't have a kit. He had more than enough money to buy a kit, though. It's one of those things that maybe sort of gamble, oh, 3 players on my team or 4 players on my team have a kit. There's no need for me to buy one. I'm surely going to pick one up. But in doing so, yeah, didn't have a chance to win the round, though, but a fast hit towards B. There are 2 CTs here, ready and waiting. JDC finds the first, but doubles down, and Crimbo chiming in. And this is a decimation from the previous round. Danis again out of the round on the AWP again, but struggling to find anything. Struggling to make anything really work with this AWP on the T side currently. And he finds himself in a 1 versus 4, and Searson out-AWPs him, out-duels him. And Big falter in the last, but back to winning ways in the next.
This is what I was trying to say whenever we started off the best of 3, or before rather we started off the best of 3. The fact that they, Big of course, are able to adjust to a lot of the plays that Team Space are going to be doing. Arguably that didn't happen on Anubis, right? But on Ancient and here on Dust 2, it does seem like it is a constant occurrence that they are able to do exactly that. And that is what you want to see out of them, right? As they are losing the initial duel on JDC there into round number 8. In any way, shape, or form, it's still looking good for Big. Doesn't really matter that they lost the first engagement, although Searson dangerously low. Tabson in short. He's going to be up against a lot of players. That nade, though, deals a lot of damage. Tabson instantly taken down by Danis, and it will be Process with only 1. So this one, it does seem pretty much done, to be completely honest. Unless Searson and Crimbo want to go for this, but I doubt it. 2-1-4. They are taking their time here, Team Space, in taking control over the site, and I think this is exactly because of the position that they're in right now. You would have never seen them be this careful on Anubis or the start of Ancient.
No, definitely not. I mean, there was actually a bit of a possibility. He kind of can have a look into this one now.
Wait.
That kill being given up by X5 has allowed this hit to try to come through. Crimbo finding Vert. Surely this is not going to be a round going the way of Big. Searson was looking to save. Almost about a third ticked out. Searson's creeping his way up towards CT. Crimbo looking for a flank. There is a kit on the young gun of this roster. The crossfire is very good. Flashbang comes over. Searson has to find the first jump. Spots them. Molotov thrown on down. Trueneck does make the swing. Crimbo a lot of work and will get taken down. So Team Space will still win the round. But it gets very scary there with X5 progressing out, allowing Searson to find him.
Yeah, I think it was a very good crossfire from Team Space there with Ramp and Long. But it got way too close considering how comfortable they were and how far away big they already went. They just went back. They were ready for the save. But I think just because of how long they took to get up on planet, just because they want to, avoid any useless duels, although one did happen. And that's what basically got Big a chance back into the round. Now, Team Space did call for a second tack pause. This one is going to be very important, because if they're able to take this one away, it should be an eco for Big, so Space could get up to 4. But it's a lot of big ifs there, considering how Big started off this map as well, and how afraid Team Space seemed to be. There's not a lot of confidence in their peaks, in their duels. It's not the same as before. Oh, Crimbo almost caught as he was rotating back to the B side. There's still 4 players onto A, and do Team Space think Crimbo's alone? Because if they do, that's the right call, but if they don't, you might be surprised. Although a couple of players in CT taps it. Turns around, dodges the flash, and he gets the kill into X5.
Able to drop that smoke. We do actually see Danis progress, but Tabson too wise for the tricks, and we'll just drop down towards CT. Dink onto Fozzel as well. Brings him to 20 points of health. Bomb still all the way dropped in T-spawn. It's gonna have to be a hell of a comeback here, and Surson finding that headshot onto Fozzel leaves Danis once again in another impossible clutch. He's struggling to find the early impact that I would like to see from someone of his caliber on this orb. I'd like to see him go for a few earlier peaks with it, because it feels like a lot of the time he's kind of finding these kills in an already lost round.
Yeah,
big, another
kill.
round on the board.
Yeah.
It's big. It's really key.
Now, it's very important that they're able to, disallow Team Space to string rounds together. It just amounts a lot of pressure on their side that they called their 3rd tactical pause right now, and their final tactical pause, unless, of course, it goes to overtime, because then you get another tac pause for. I wanted to ask you guys to clarify this for me, if you know, because I have no idea. So you get a tac pause per overtime now.
I do believe so, yeah.
If you do use, or rather, if you don't use your first tac pause in the first overtime and it gets to the second overtime, then you have 2, or you still have only 1?
See, I was honestly thinking that yesterday. I wasn't sure what happened. I'm gonna have to find clarification in between the break and between this series and the next. I'm gonna find that out, because I was honestly thinking the exact same thing yesterday.
Yeah, it's a very particular thing, but just something.
It's those things you don't think about until you start thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Team Space, they were looking to force Big into an eco. Now they are forced into an eco, which is very unfortunate for this situation. Oh, surprise! Tabson didn't know that an enemy just dropped next to him. Searson missed the shot, but he finds it with a USP. He's gonna need to find a lot of kills, and Danis, good headshot. That actually opens up a way for Team Space to secure the site and potentially a lot of damage on the side of Big as Process is dinked. Needs some help. Flash comes through, doesn't matter. Dennis still hits the shot. You want to play headshot angle against the Deagle, but JDC will win that one. So now roles are reversed. It's Big trying to come in through short with the smoke in short.
Yeah, Vert's positioning is good. Does spot the player in Crimbo. Backs away towards CT. JDC trying to take this fight. Oh, what a fight from Trunic. It could have got very difficult there if Trunic doesn't find that kill, because we technically could have seen a stick of the bomb. Maybe see Vert trying to jumping kill him with the M4, which you certainly aren't going to want that to be your only hopes of denying that defuse. The round does come through, and we are seeing money really be a bit of an awkward in these final few rounds of this half. We can see teams really not being stable, both being very close to being broken, and I think we are probably actually going to see Big call it quits here. Loss bonus isn't great, and Process doesn't have a ton of cash, but the rest of the team can buy if they do go for the eco. So maybe it's worth just Process being onto a FAMAS and MP9, something along the sorts of that.
it just feels like the previous round is a round that gets you back into a game, right? It's an eco that seems very unlikely, and somehow, or not necessarily somehow, it's a kind of I think a bunch of mistakes from the side of Big that leads to it. And because of that, they will have to suffer in this round as well. USPs on the board for the German side, as Danis should have spotted Crimbo there and relays the information to Fozel. It should be an easy kill there for Fozel. Flash being deployed, and it is Danis to strike. Although they do find one kill at least. Tabson, well, he wasn't with his team. He's all the way in A long. Not really a lot that he can do here, as he is being held at the moment by Vert. Maybe surprise them with this flank through long. Timing is everything. Oh, he might have found it. Maybe he gets another kill. A couple of kills and a full eco is not bad at all.
I think he might actually be able to save.
I think they threw it away. I saw them jumping at one point.
Yeah, likely did so. Good call. Because, I mean, that would have been big. Because Process, look, you can see he's got the M4. I mean, Tabson even has the FAMAS out. So we can see Process, he's got the M4, but one piece of utility. Tabson forced into the FAMAS. If there was that rifle that could have been saved, that probably would have been worth it, just to ensure you get a kit in play. Because right now, unless I'm missing anything, they don't have one of those. So final round of the half. I mean, this could be a big change up 8-4. Tag early from Danis. On to Sirison, bringing him low. Maybe it wasn't from Danis. I don't even know who tagged Sirison down that low.
Oh, they're still able to find the kills nonetheless, but Sirison will be taken down eventually. JDC, though. He's in a very good position, and Fozel has no idea. Process very close to the Opera here. I don't know if he heard the scope necessarily, but he's gonna spot the shadows as they start to push in, and Process started pre-firing, and he actually gets both. So Big are able to secure a 9 or an 8-4 rather, my bad, an 8-4 first half. And as you mentioned, right, it looked a lot more one-sided. It is not bad from space that they're able to find 4. But then again, Big, at least in the two Dust 2s they played on HLTV, they were better at the T side. So I guess it comes down to if they're able to get the piston round, they could get away with quite a lot, even double digits. If Team Space win the piston round, they could make this one very interesting.
I mean, all we need is one round from Team Space, and then so far this has been the most competitive game of the series, which is pretty crazy. But Danis, brilliant shot, so maybe this is setting Team Space up for that 5th. But look, instantly Big opt, let's leave along, we're taking mid, taking all this space, and so far it's a good call to make. They can wrap on both these B players. X5 is holding the cross, but there's only so much you can do. Oh, but even with a smoke down, there's even less you can do. You can see the CTs, they want to take the fight now onto lower tunnels. The site's been taken. 5-on-4, we know how difficult this B-bomb site is to retake. We're going to really get to see that. Sure, there isn't the util that you'd normally have. But if Crimbo can even find one, being forced all the way out here, this would be pretty successful.
Oh, Rainbow, good shot. JDC eliminates Fozel in a second from JDC. Trunic and X5 going for this B retake. Oh, X5, he just flashed himself, and Trunic not able to find anything. Process with a double kill as well, and it is Big to secure that piston round. 9 on the board, potentially double digits as well. And it was kind of not necessarily a debate, something I was agreeing with. Dust 2, when he came back into the map pool, he just added another not unretakeable but very complicated retake site, right? Because I would say Inferno's A site would be the hardest, and I think for a close second would be B on Dust 2 alongside B on Inferno.
I mean that's the thing. Yeah, Inferno, I mean both maps sort of in terms of Inferno and Dust. If you take the bomb site quickly, the rotations are very long that you kind of have to call it quits before the retake can even begin. And that's always difficult. But yeah, B site dust has always been notoriously difficult. They tried to make the door changes, but I don't really think that's made it any easier for the CTs. If you've got util, you still just smoke off the doors, molly, smoke even towards window. And for half the bomb timer, you're locked out the site unless you're flashing through with so many angles to clear. Yeah, you're right, Poppy. It makes things so difficult. It's a really challenging bomb site to retake. And we even saw it there with the pistols. Not loads of util was in play, but there's so many angles when that door is smoked and you know you have to push from those windows to try to attempt to find those kills. You've got to either have a perfect read, you've got to make a huge gamble, or hit a crazy shot. And if you don't do one of those things, chances are you're going down.
Yeah, just like Team Space is going down right now in this round. And, you know, I was fully expecting a full eco out of Team Space. I don't see a reason to force up here, considering the difference in score, right? But sure, he is able to get 2 more kills, add to the tally there, but now you are basically on another eco, and Big are in double digits. So what do you do here? Do you force up once again to try and deny 11 from Big? Because if you just eco, there's a very big chance that Big take this one away. It's 11, and you get your first spy at 11-4, which is basically a do or die round. Oh, X5, he actually... Ooh, he's crazy. He pulled out an R8. I wanted to see that. Unfortunately, we will not get to see it.
Yeah, I
went back
understand.
to a 5-7.
I understand what you mean. It does. See, it feels like it screams out a little bit that Space see themselves as these huge underdogs in this game right now. That they feel like they need to make this Hail Mary play to hope something works for them. And considering you look back to map number 1, and you kind of look at the series as a whole, and after map 1, you say maybe Team Space aren't that big underdogs. Maybe they aren't as crazy one-sided this series as we initially thought. But yeah, I think making that decision to end up going for this crazy force buy in the second round, you understand why they do it, but you'd also kind of like them not to do it at the same time. And that's the difficult calls you have to make. In Team Space, they opted for the force, hasn't worked out, and like you said, 11-4, here we are.
Well, it's basically do or die. Lose this round, it's big on series point. But that is a good start as Trunik and X5. Look at that. Tapson is just waiting inside the smoke, so... not really what you wanted to see out of him. Was a little confused there. And, well, do or die. It's do on the side of Team Space, as they are in a 5-on-2 against Crimbo and Searson. I don't think anything weird should happen here. X5 affected by the nade as well, the slowdown, but still able to stay alive. The bomb is dropped outside long doors. And Big, they have a lot of time left, so they can take a different approach. Searson is actually holding down a B tunnels. Oh, but he was spotted on shoulder peak, so now they just back away from B. That could have been their chance, it seems like. If Searson takes down a player in B, maybe they're able to sneak into you know, positions that gets them to a little bit more of an advantage, as long as you can get some advantage in 2-on-5. Crimbo, well, now it's done. He's on 5 HP. There's no way Big are still able to claim something in this round, apart from maybe some exit kills. But the round itself is over. Team Space able to survive for a little longer, but it's just there's not a lot of mistakes allowed here for Team Space. It's a couple of mistakes and the map is over, so they have to play the CT side to perfection if they want to still have a chance here to move on into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It is going to need to be perfect CS from Team Space, and they will actually respect the save. They understand that this is going to be a long road back. We've got to keep our money high. We've got to make sure Danis is always on this orb. We're always on rifles. And then we can start to have a conversation about this comeback. But if they don't do that, yeah, it is going to be a very, very difficult situation for them. But they have gone for this just keeping everyone alive strategy. The smarter strategy, you know, you keep everyone alive, chances are you're going to win the round. But with this investment now from Big, what do? JDC does have a rifle, so does Tabson. They are gonna be bringing out these guns. And we will see somewhat of a bite.
Although it is a little unfortunate with this tick pause. Because, of course, Team Space, they want to secure some momentum here. So that, you know, they have something to play off of. That could also play into the strengths of Big, right? If Team Space kind of cool down a little bit, maybe they're able to steal this one away. If this one doesn't go the way of Big, then it might be an eco, so Team Space could get away with multiple rounds here. Shouldn't really be too long of a break. But yeah, it's a little scary for Team Space.
Yeah, I mean, their backs are definitely up against the wall. You already mentioned it does feel like we are going to need to see that perfect CS, that near perfect level of Counter-Strike against Big. Because all it is even just one mistake, that's overtime guaranteed for Big. 2 mistakes, that's game done. And I do like the fact that they understand we've got to keep this money alive, because if one mistake is made, which is very likely to happen, it's very possible to happen, you never want to be reset after that. You never want to have MP9s, maybe pistols, scouts, something like that in what could be literally your fight for survival here in Series 5. So I do like that at least they understand in that we have to make sure we play by the numbers and give ourselves all the chances we can. But it is the investment here for Big. It's a solid enough buy. Only real weaponry limitation is the Galil of Process.
I mean, in all fairness, with how they played so far, I think it should be. But it's up to Team Space to stop the aggression of Big. Potentially going towards the A site, as they do have 3 players all the way up in short. Smoke comes through from JDC. They did smoke up long doors. And Molly, oh, he gets extinguished actually. Dennis. Missed shot, and he was dinked, but I think it was through the wall. Eventually, Trunic with a kill into Process. That was outside long doors. So Big, he might want to turn the play around. Try and go towards B. Try and overwhelm that B site. And it's a deep CT smoke. They could just pass through, but at the same time, X5 could also pass through. Searson lands the shot, and they have to get through only 2 players here. JDC with one onto Vert. And Fozil, he's still alive, able to land a double kill before being eliminated. It should still be a competitive round, but then again, B retake. Not all that easy. Bomb planted by Tapson. And a flash comes through to delay.
Look at Crimbo though, he's making a huge gamble here. Oof. Looking to flank through mid. Tapson throws the flash to delay. Just to try to hold off the CTs for a little bit longer. Crimbo is in behind. Even if he finds 1 kill and backs away, this could be huge. He wants to line up for both. Spots the first. Will take him down, but Dan is so quick with the trade. The position from Tabson is too strong, and Big will find themselves on map in series point. The saving grace, the silver lining for Space is they do at least have a buyout. It's going to be a good one. There's not really any limitations. This is it, though. 7 map points, 7 opportunities for Big to close this out. Team Space, we said near perfect Counter-Strike. It now has to be perfect Counter-Strike.
Yeah, there's no excuses. 7 rounds in a row needed for Team Space to secure overtime. And Big, this time they are straight away looking for a chance to play into B. They will take control of lower tunnels as well. Team Space and multiple players towards A, as that's where Big usually starts off their rounds. Although it's not set in stone just yet. The bomb is towards this B site. Bozo. Interesting position. Although Overt misses the chance to take down Process. JDC up in short. There's 3 players there waiting for him. The molly should force them forwards, and JDC will be forced out of the round. I don't know how Trunic is still alive and not taking damage through that molly. In the meantime, Fozil. Oh, he's all alone. He's gonna be peaked here. Dinged. Down to 32. The molly will force him out. Abson? Okay.
Process is miles away now. That's the bomb. 40 seconds. Fozil finding 2 has kept space in this one. That is everything. Molly at his feet. About 30 points of health and still somehow manages to sneak away with another kill. And it's all on Process. The player that probably will get the MVP if they end up winning this. Had a great game, a great series. But isn't going to be going for this. It is going to be the save. Team Space have survived this first test. And the money on Big is not going to be good at all. Space might be able to be given another round after this one. The comeback does start here, but let's see how far into it they'll get.
Well, economy is going to be a problem for Big, so it could be a chance for Team Space to rack up some more rounds. It should actually be just a force buy straight away. JDC on 1400, Crimbone 1800. They are up 6 rounds here, so shouldn't be a problem for them to force up. Unless they want a double eco, which, I mean, judging by how the M4 was saved, it would make sense to just force up here. And yeah, that's exactly the play. Process on the M4 is still going to be very scary for Team Space. Because as you mentioned, potentially the MVP, 20-8 in this final map. JDC tagged up by the op of Danists. He was leg shotted though. So he's still alive, barely, but still breathing. As Big, they slowly make their way into short. If they're able to get through the upper, it wouldn't be too hard to take control of that A site. But Danis is in a very good position towards Scar. It's going to be hard to take him down. I don't think Process will be the first one to peek in. It should be JDC. He's only on 5, so the Eagle should be the first one to take a swing.
Here he does go. Danis playing the same angle as Sirison loved to play, but maybe he can find a bit more success than Sirison as he found. Dodges the flash, but certainly can't. Process the one to find him. X5 on the bomb site, making things happen with Trunic as support, and Sirison just with this scout remaining. Well, it's flying all over, but Trunic will find his 3rd into the round, and Team Space will best the force bite, and will put Big onto this eco. We'll at least see the game get a little bit closer here. I mean, already it has been the closest game that we have seen, the most competitive one. Because yeah, I mean the first 2, you don't really get much more one-sided. 13-4 and a 13-0, but could still be a 13-7 if these Glocks do win the round. Fast push towards mid. Oh, in fact, Tabson towards short, very isolated from the rest of his team, but still manages to make his way out. Process dropping down, finds 1, but it is a bit of a clean sweep over from this round. And Team Space will find another. Scoreline slowly getting closer and closer. Big still just 1 round away from putting this series to rest. From letting this one die and eliminating Space before they really even got a chance. Obviously, round of 16 game here, quarterfinals up next. Winner of this will be playing against Permitter.
And interestingly enough, Team Space did actually lose against Permitter. So they do manage to go through. They will have to face them once again and, you know, kind of have to win. But they have to win here first. They're not the ones at map point. It's Big. And X5 finds the first kill onto JDC. Searson with a trade onto the same player, onto X5. So they keep numbers equal. As Big, they're looking for any kind of overstepping out of Team Space. Any kind of over-aggression. And there's actually no reason to do so, right? There's no reason to be too aggressive here. They just want to wait to see what Big are up to. Trunic, though, is he up to the task here to stop a couple of players from pushing in. Flash comes through, so that confirms presence out of some of the players here outside long. Ooh, it's Process against Trunic. Duel of the Titans, even though Trunic is not having the best game out of all of them. Process doesn't land the shot, and it's Trunic with a double. Huge play there. Searson forced back by the flash, and that secures at least long, although the bomb is dropped in the middle of the map.
I didn't want to actually say anything, but when we saw Trunic there towards the cubby, we saw Process pushing first, I believe, and tabseN going for the trade. I really didn't want to mention anything. tabseN's got 4 kills, and he's really struggling this game. And in my head, I just thought, I think tabseN doesn't get this trade. And then next thing we know, tabseN, yeah, can't manage to do it. Yeah, tabseN's having a very tough time here on Dust. I think, honestly, just send him in, let him entry, try to get him traded, because we're having a good game from the other 4. Everyone else is having some very big moments, but tabseN is lacking just quite a bit here on Dust, and the scoreline getting closer, 12-9, within touching distance of one another now. tabseN, to ensure they close this one out, is going to need to start to have a few more moments.
For sure. He was actually a top fragger of the second map, interestingly enough. But, yeah, as you said, very, very slow game for him here on Dust 2. The gap is not that big anymore. And, well, the German side might start to feel like someone is breathing down their neck. That's, of course, Team Space. This one is just a piss around for Beg. Looking for some of those kills. Maybe a potential bomb plant. Wouldn't be bad at all. Get some extra money for the next round. Things are not really looking all that hot anymore. Team Space playing very carefully here. It's a very interesting setup here in the B side. No, I don't have anything against it, because they should be able to secure multiple kills, even if Big try to play into the B site. That smoke does prompt a molly on a Team Space. This will follow up. Vert, he gets very close for an anti-eco, to be honest.
With the util potentially coming over now, the shot was fired towards A is actually moved Fozil away slightly. tabseN's gone very deep. Vert does go down. Fozil falls. Surely this isn't the round to do so. Team Space have done so much work to bring it here. JDC towards short will get found, so a 3-on-3. Crimbo, only 18 points of health. I wouldn't mind of him dropping that M4 over. But it's not a bad setup. All 3 players come in here from mid. Surely this can't be the round that does it.
No way, right? Flash comes through. Process able to find one onto Trunic. He is eliminated quickly right after, and now it's all down to Crimbo. 18 HP, X5 spotted him. They're gonna try to double up onto him, but he's isolating the duels perfectly. And time is running out. There's a defuse kit available for X5. I think he got it. He should be able to just defuse the bomb there. There we go. A little scare for Team Space, but they are able to take it away. And it is double digits, but that was only an eco. What's gonna happen if Big get control of the B side, especially when they have the weapons out?
The good thing is, at least, it wasn't exactly like, oh, that's 4 players going down for Team Space. Money's an issue now. They're going to be able to buy till the end. They're doing very good financially. Same thing cannot be said for Big. They lose this round, we're going to have a few question marks. It is obviously going to be the full loss bonus, so they can get somewhat of a buy, but not going to be excellent. Only 2 rounds away, though, now, Pop. This has been quite a monumental response from Team Space, who looked down and out.
Oh, yeah. It looked like it was done. It looked like Big just needed a little push and it was over. But no, it wasn't enough. Team Space. 5 rounds in a row, looking for the last 2 to secure overtime. Searson. He's so ready for the peek out of Dennis, but Dennis was trying to get a wallbang through. Or rather, a different angle. And the German Opper. So for long comes through, and that's gonna isolate Process for a little bit longer. They actually use a second smoke very quickly after. Crimbo will find a kill onto Vert, but it's traded out by Fozil. That was an engagement into the B site.
Oh, a mid to B here would be so big.
Yeah.
And the smoke comes down, Fozil. Oh, this is going to be terrifying. Fozil has to do so much work. He's outside of the actual B bomb site. Nade of the smoke could be coming through. Just going to be flashing straight through. Sirison holding the cross. Great nade there from Fozil. Chips these players down, but Sirison finds the first. Fozil will find one himself. Doubles down before the mollies will eventually take him out of this round. Oh, and Tapson caught on the cross. 21 seconds. Sirison towards mid. Now feeling useless.
And he will be, because Zanis takes him down at the edge of the smoke. No bomb plant means not enough money for a clean buy with all the util, all that you needed. Team space, especially Fozil. Huge play in B site, and Big well called for a tactical pause, but I think this has overtime written all over it. I don't think there's any other way about it. I mean, team space, by coming back here, if this is the round that Big managed to win, it's gonna be so heartbreaking for them. Because if it ended, 13-5, we'd be like, yeah, Big played better in the second and third map and all that. But team space, they are one round away from securing overtime and potentially getting themselves another chance at winning this best of 3 against Big after losing 13-0 on Ancient.
I mean, what a comeback story that would be. 13-0, defeat on map number 2. You're on the final map. Your opponents have 7 chances to close out the series, and you still bring it back, win it in overtime, but still a lot to be said. Tag from Sirison going to be doing a bit of chip damage on Divert, softening him up. We see the fast push out long from Process, and he does kick things off nicely. The AK connects. X5 getting tagged in the molly. Process should know where he is, and he does find another, but Tapson goes down just before. And the trade could be huge, but it's only going to be the scout, and Sirison looking dumbfounded by where exactly Danis is. I really think the scout should have went in first there, Pop.
Yeah,
why are we seeing
exactly
the scout?
what I wanted to say.
Unless he's getting the instant headshot, it feels really dangerous, and that's now the bomb dropped.
He didn't even fire off a shot. Like, he looked completely lost after his teammate went down. It wasn't Gato to his life, it was Zanis. So now, with about 50 seconds left, Process and Crimbo, they'll try to get the round in the bag. 2-on-3. They're gonna need to get all the kills here in short. I don't think they get away with a bomb. I don't think there's a way to do this. Process. Oh! Vert able to get both kills, but Crimbo was so close to landing both of those kills. So with that round, it's team space managing to force out overtime against Big. 12-5 was the score, but team space, they are not done yet.
Winning 8 out of the last 9 rounds is insanity. Be disappointed that we didn't actually get to see Crimbo use any of that util. He had a molly and a nade. That feels like perfect util to force the CTs forward, force them back, chip them down. I mean, maybe we could have had a different story if the nade dunked on all 3. They're all very close to one another. That could have been some really big damage dealt, but no. Instead, didn't come through, and they wanted to keep the silent game as the play, but Big. Maybe the momentum shifted here now. Not able to close this game out. And Team Space, yeah, got another crack at it.
It just feels surreal to actually have a chance to win a best of 3 where you lost a map 13-0. Just insane out of Team Space. Just the presence of mind as well. You see none of them buying a technical pause called in. I mean, one of the players called, had to go to the bathroom. But if we looked on the webcams for them, everyone, you see what it means for them. All the emotions basically bottled up, and when they know that it's safe to do so, they say, okay, we just need a quick 30 seconds. We need to run to the bathroom, and then we're back and we can continue this game, because it's been, well, way longer than the second map, right? Because second map was over in 20 minutes.
Yeah, literally. We do have a double AWP purchase currently. I don't know if Crimbo is going to be going for a mid peak and then looking to sell that. But he does have a long spawn, so I'm curious as to what we are going to see. Yeah, Grimbo heading towards the long. Likely going to have Sirison boosted up here. And the short, but Grimbo's up. Fires off a shot, but no kill found. I'm curious, will we see this gun be sold? No. Is Sirison going to do it instead, or are we just going to generally have a double up T side, which I don't hate. This is probably the only map in the pool where realistically you can do so.
Yeah.
No. Wait, Grimbo does now have a AK. Was that dropped down, or was he able to sell that in time? I think
Rose has dropped one because he has 5k. Since 3 players have 5k, I think they just bought up 2 ops and dropped an AK over.
I'm interested now, because, I mean, it could be, because obviously the CT side, you can, if you see the CTs bring out AWPs, especially double AWPs, and they lose the first 2 rounds, their money can be really shaky in the 3rd round of overtime. It's going to be far from perfect. I'm curious if this is going to be something that actually will happen to Big now, because they invested quite a lot. Grimbo will go down here. It's him ripped out of this round. And opening kill goes the way of Team Space. They've had no issues finding these in the latter portions of Dust. Flash towards mid. There are 2 players here. Peak does come through, but still, the T's are the ones to find him. Mid orb shot from Fozil allows Process to keep himself alive, and now Big have this advantage. X5 goes down to JDC.
Oof. Good shot at a Dennis, but I don't think it doesn't really amount to a lot. They are getting themselves closer. Do they want to go for this retake? I think it's just safer to, or the save at this point, but yeah, they'll decide on the save. And of course, as Zonic's Law dictates, the team that is not able to close out the map and it goes to overtime, of course, they're the ones to win the first round in overtime. Just becomes so frustrating, telling themselves, why couldn't we do that in regulation? Well, it's too late now to cry over spilled milk, as Big secure 13, Team Space. You're still in this. Big are not on a map point anymore. You can still win this. So, Team Space, it will back away, save the op, save the AK, just to make sure that their economy is not gonna run out, right? And there's still gonna be enough money for them to buy out into all of the rounds remaining in the first half of overtime. And they should be chilling on that department. But Big, back in the lead. Are they able to extend it? Can they get a clean half, or a better half than Team Space? Or is Team Space going to strike back?
I mean, this best of 3 really has had it all. A 30-0. Yeah. A comeback from a team that was 12-5 down. I mean, this has been excellent game of CS. Danis spots the first, but misses. Sirison won't know. Vert will dunk out an aid. Fozil has to step up big here, bigger than he did in the last, and he's going to be under pressure. Molly at his feet, but already a 5-on-2. Rounds falling apart, and 5T is going to be barreling into this B bomb site. Fozil will find the first, has to go huge, but 1 is all he can get, and Big really are going to be questioning, guys, this is a joke, surely. 2 rounds in a row here, after losing, what, 7 in a row?
Yeah. They're not going to be happy about it. They're going to say, well, see, it's not hard. How couldn't we do it in regulation? Well, sometimes it happens. Of course, Team Space, they might have relaxed a bit after reaching overtime, which could be counterintuitive because you cannot relax, especially against a team like Big. So with the bomb explosion, it will be 14 on the board for Big. Trunic waiting for some exit kills here. Doesn't really matter because the money's on the side of Big. Is not, there's no problem with it. So just to deal a little bit more damage, symbolic damage more or less, as 14-12 is secured by Big. I think they just wanted to play MR15. That's why they went to overtime.
Yeah, that could be the case. Final round would be massive here if Big can take this.
Yeah.
Both teams did have a better CT side. And winning all 3 on the T, I mean, that could be everything, that could be enough. Long being taken here from the CTs. It is just Danis towards him, but look at Fozil. Crimbo versus him is going to be a huge fight, and this aggression towards me. JDC spots it out and is aware. Crimbo takes down his teammate before Fozil even spots him out. Fozil, though, with 2. He's had a good couple of rounds here in overtime. It feels like he's been the one required a lot of the time. But obviously, that first round we misses the orb shot, unraveled it.
X5 up close next to double doors, but big. They're not interested. We'll be looking for a B play. The question is, does X5 start to go for the flank now? Because he has no idea, right? If he starts going through lower tunnels, it could be the perfect play. They don't know where the enemy is. Perfect flash out of Vert, but he didn't peek with it. To line them up. Vert finds one onto JDC, takes down Tabson as well. And it's all down to Searson. The Opper of Big lands the shot onto Vert. Now there's already a player in tunnels that could shut him down. Searson goes for the bomb plan. It is a fake. He's peeking out into mid, and he's been spotted and eliminated by X5. It's Team Space securing at least one round here on the CT side. But as they swap sides, as you mentioned, CMD, both teams were better at the CT. And I won't take Team Space's chances away, because usually what happens in regulation doesn't really concur with what happens in overtime. We'll see if it's the case here, because Big 2 rounds away from closing out this best of 3. Team Space, they need a clean T half to win in, well, overtime regulation.
Yeah, I'm quite curious about Big's actual hit towards B there, because we saw the player towards the back, behind the boxes, find the first kill, and both players didn't actually look together. We saw one player turn, while Searson just staying holding towards the door, which kind of makes me think they felt like the call was, there's going to be 2 players here. And it felt like they were saying to themselves, we are going into a bit more of a stack. Which is curious to think so, because surely just, they take down that player on the site. If Searson holds as well, it feels like there's no chance 2 kills to get found. But it feels like they're paranoid about another player being there, but it makes me think, if they were so concerned about that, why do we see the hit towards B? It's just interesting. It's these slight things that maybe if Searson did get posted up there as well, both players instantly turn. I understand you're always paranoid about a crossfire, but in a 3v3, gambles sometimes have to be made.
It's a lot of different variables there. And Team Space, they went for a couple of ops here as well, but it was Vert actually to drop his own AK, so now he's on 2850 already in the first round of overtime. I mean, good nade thrown there by Tabson, doing a lot of damage to Ozil and X5. Searson, that is a very tight angle. I doubt anyone can react in time. Never mind. Searson, okay, he's gonna take down Ozil through the double doors, and he almost finds X5 as well. Nade deployed, deals a little bit of damage to Vert, as Team Space are looking to take control over short. It is Tabson the one to try and hold on from CT, but he's trying to swap positions with Searson, and they do so in time, actually.
Utilis flying over, and Tabson, who looked like he wanted to rotate to help towards mid, has backed away and is now here on the A site as well. Searson finds the first, takes down another. Much better showed from Searson here towards a long angle. Flash comes over, gonna be re-peeking into it. Finds his third in the round, spots out the final player, and X5 is gonna have to force the reload, but Tabson finally finds his 5th kill of Dust. It has been a long time coming. He's been on 4 kills for what feels like most of this game.
Yeah, a rough map here for Tabson, but it is big once again. With a possibility to end this map, end this game. 2 chances this time around. 15 to 13. As they get a second op onto Crimbo. I do like that Searson is starting to hit a lot more of those important kills. Sometimes he was lacking behind in that department, but not this time. Although, Big, they have Tapson in short looking for a play. JDC in tunnels. Starting to get a little bit more aggressive. Big trying to surprise here. Tapson able to open up, but there's the kills coming in. JDC process. They take control over B tunnels. The play will go towards short. It's Bert and Dennis to keep team space in this best of 3.
Flash comes over. Searson not ready for Vert to be towards CT. And now a 2-on-2 here. Man advantage that Big had has fallen away. A lot of util left on Crimbo and JDC though. Kind of fully utilize this, but no player directly playing on this bomb site. Vert gonna be the one with the up. CT's really taking their time with this. Bomb's halfway ticked.
Yeah, the smoke though. They need to go through Dennis. He actually ducked IRL. When he ducked there, Vert has the angle. Big. Is there enough time to go on defuse?
It's gonna be a ninja.
Like this. Dennis, he needs to find a kill.
Oh no! Hey, you will not! Oh my god! That is even more heartbreaking. It's Big
To secure the best of 3 in overtime, 16-13. They will move on with a 2-1.